guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're out for another weekday ride on the Triumph T100 Bonneville. So 3 months on from buying the T100, I wanted to make a video to let you guys know if this was a good move or not. So to start with, yes it was. Just look at it. The bike is absolutely stunning. So even if it was a giant paperweight, I would be quite pleased to just keep this in my living room. But in all seriousness, this bike has showed no signs of problems, touch wood. And it's given me no reason to think that it's not going to be a reliable bike in the future. Now, if you're looking at buying a used bike, now this one's 6 years old, 30,000 miles on the clock. As I've said before, might ring a few alarm bells, might make you think, the Royal Enfields, you can pick those up for around 7,000 brand new, and they are as stylish. But one thing that is tried and tested with the Triumphs is the build quality. So this bike does not disappoint in terms of quality. The paint is stunning. The chrome, it looks as good as it did when it was new. There's no signs of flaking or anything like that. It's got no nasty rattles. The pea shooter exhausts sound fantastic and the chrome's held up really good. These grips, original grips, and yet there's hardly any wear on them. I just think that's crazy. The seat, you'd think, well, surely the seat's going to start fraying on the stitching there. Nope, not one bit. The seat, in fact, is one of the bike's best features. It is super comfy. I could talk all day about this seat, which is probably a bit weird because I should be talking about the engine, but the seat is just so pleasant to be on. I could literally ride this bike for hours. The seating position, I mean, it is the most comfiest chair of sorts that I've ever sat on. You know, I just want to be on this bike all day. The handlebars are just positioned really good. Now I'm 6 foot tall, so I have quite a bend in my leg. You know, perhaps if you were 6'2" and above, maybe 6'3" and above, this bike might actually be a bit too small for you. You know, if you are that sort of height, please leave a message in the comment section to, you know, give us that feedback, because I'd be interested to know. But as well, if you're a shorter rider, you know, 5'8", you'll probably be fine on this bike. On the side stand, there's a good lean, so getting on the bike is easy. And then actually managing the weight of the bike. Now, the engine is a big old lump. The weight is all at the bottom. So even when this tank is full, which it's on 3/4 now, it still feels like a really low center of gravity. So just maneuvering the bike, handling it, even just pushing it in and out of the garden, it's just brilliant. And that's the kind of thing you have to live with every day. You know, so from that point of view, yes, this bike is a lot heavier than what the Honda is, the 125 Honda, but you really quickly get used to the extra weight. But because it's designed in such a way that all the weight is low down on this bike, it is just so manageable. Now, this bike, apart from these crash bars, is standard, more or less. And there's not a thing I would change on it. Now I know some people swap out exhausts. This exhaust sounds incredible. The bike starts on the button, as you can see, and really, in standard form, this bike is perfect. The tyres, these tyres are the Pirellis, which come with the bike. Now again, I've read on some reviews that people prefer to change the tyres, and great, fine. If you're into your biking and you really know the difference between your tyres, I'm sure there's benefits there. But for a first time rider, and this is my first big bike, I'm riding this bike thinking, this is great. I'm not worrying about what tyres are on the bike because they just handle really well for me and the way I ride. So if you are looking at buying a bike, maybe take into account how much money you may have to spend on it to get it how you want it. For me, I don't want to change a thing with this bike. I just love it the way it is. I actually, you know, embarrassingly enjoy cleaning this bike nearly as much as riding it because I just can't get enough of looking at it. I mean, it is stunning. So I want to wrap this video up. I just wanted to give you guys my review after 3 months. And basically, yeah, it's been a pleasure to ride. I love these sunny evenings we're having right now because these rural English roads are almost tailor-made for this bike. The slow sweeping bends, the narrow lanes, just the tall hedges, it just, I don't know, it really fits in. But that said, I can't wait to put a rear rack on this bike and just head off to the coast or on a long cruise or just head up to Scotland. Just, it is so comfy and pleasant to ride. I really want to do just an 8-hour riding day on this bike and then another 8-hour riding day and just head anywhere because it is a pleasure. So that's my bit on this bike. Now, I've obviously showed you guys some close-up shots of the bike, which really say it all. You know, you can see the quality in the bike. And it just goes to show, you don't have to spend a fortune or go out buying a brand new bike. Bikes from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, have been made with such good quality that they're lasting the test of time. You know, they're not falling to pieces, they're not leaking oil. You know, I've got an old Volkswagen camper van, an old split screen, and it leaks oil. I've rebuilt the engine from crank up and it's still got a drip of oil. So I think some of that is down to my skills as an engineer, but some of it's just down to the way things were designed. Designs have improved on modern vehicles, and as such, the reliability's improved. I mean, engines, unsurprisingly now, do 100,000, 200,000 miles. You know, previously, if you had an old Volkswagen van and it had been around the clock and done over 100,000 miles, you'd be like, wow, that engine's ready for renewal nearly, you know, it wants a rebuild. Is this going to want a rebuild at 100,000? Don't think so. Based on what I've seen online, these engines will keep going with regular maintenance, valve adjustment. That won't need a rebuild at 100,000 miles. I've seen Triumphs online that have done that twice. So that's my take. I hope this video gives you the encouragement and confidence to go out and buy a used bike, yes, you need to be smart. You need to do your research, know what you're looking for ideally, and try and buy a bike that's got good service history. When you meet the owner, do you get a good feeling from the owner that they've looked after the bike? Are they sad to see it go? Are they selling it because they're moving abroad? You know, or are they buying a new bike? Have they had it for 2 months, you know, and they're moving it on already? There's things to think about. But certainly, I made the right call buying this bike, because I was thinking about, as I say, the newer Royal Enfields. They come in around the similar price as the used Triumph, so they were awfully tempting. Was looking at the W800s. Fantastic looking bikes. Just the retro scene at the minute is so good. You're spoilt for choice. But really, I think when it comes down to it, the Triumph T100 Bonneville is what started it. And there's just so many nice touches on this bike. Whether it's the passenger foot peg, I mean, just listen to that. Just a confident click. Lovely transfers, the decals. Nice little subtle cover over the fuel injectors, the old Bakelite style HT lead plug cap. What more can you say? So I think from me, that's a wrap, guys. I hope this video has been useful. If it has, please give it a like. This is probably going to be the last Triumph video I make for a little while, because I'm going to Cornwall in a Volkswagen camper van very soon, and I'll be making a little mini series on that adventure. So if you're into your camping, or just like old cars and long road trips, well, tune in, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.
I can't let you go, baby. I just wanna tell you that. No. Yeah. All of my friends say, girl, you better take care. 'Cause that man is trouble if that's you. And Lord, deep down, I know I might be headed for teardrops. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No. 'Cause I love you, baby. I can't let you go, baby. I gotta tell you that I won't let you go. I've been looking for love so true. When I was down and out, along came you. Though you might be a liar, I just can't quit you now, 'cause I love you.